Welcome to the podcast. This is your boy RBG coming in with a quick disclaimer. As you guys see, we have some guests on today's show. Today we have the infamous Jalil, who's been holding it down. We also have King Greek and the golden child of the Avengers community, Lejeune. I just want to quickly point out that we were having some technical difficulties. One of the guys' microphone, you might have noticed like in other versions of this video that his audio was really low. So I wanted to take it upon myself to fix that and try to get things rolling. You know, it took a lot of time, editing, and dark magic to get things back on the ball, but we were able to do so. So I hope you guys enjoy it. We talk about the current state of the game. We also talk about what we can do to improve it, as well as give our general thoughts on things that have come to pass since, you know, this development cycle for Marvel's Avengers hasn't really been the best. But hopefully you guys enjoy it. I don't stay in this for too long because I've been packing and doing a lot of other things, but I do say my piece. So yeah, enjoy the video.
Spider-Man, I've gotten all I wanted out of that game for $60, and this is not the down Marvel Spider-Man or Marvel Spider-Man Miles Morales, which is like, I think one boasts like 20 hours and the other one boasts like 10 hours. Just think about that. They spent $60 for a single player experience. They got those hours and they were happy with it. People that put in so many hours, at least hundreds of hours into Marvel's Avengers for $60 and haven't really have to spend a cent unless they actually chose to. But for some reason, it's a problem.
Yeah, it's I don't know. It's just I think it's just a general consumption of people just don't like live service games, to be honest. When it comes to that. And plus, you know, people probably got different opinions and all that, but I don't know. For some reason, like, say for instance, like some of the buzz that, you know, is in Spider-Man Miles Morales, even though they're not as big as some of the things in Avengers, people just I guess they just take it more likely on Miles Morales when you find bugs. So I find bugs into it, even like I'm on the PS4 and all that. I've even found bugs that, you know, that stop my gameplay, or I had to just hard restart my game just to even, you know, continue. But, you know, when it comes to Avengers, it's it's like an uproar. Like, it's just like everything going wrong when it's, you know, Avengers. I'm like, I don't see, like, I just don't see, it's just, I feel like it's just, they're just not really, like, playing into the, you know, the right field with it, to be honest. Just playing, like, favoritism a little bit, I think. Just a little bit.
Yeah. People hold live service games to an almost impossible standard compared to the usual single player experience. It's like, you can't tell me that once you platinum Spider-Man, which in my opinion, it doesn't take a long time to platinum Spider-Man, and you completed all those side quests, you put the game down because it's a one and done kind of deal. You know what I'm saying? There's not much you can do out of it. It's not like Grand Theft Auto where I can just do heist and all these things. Like, most you're gonna do is just swing around with Spider-Man and save the day. But, you know, it's just so insanely crazy, you know, how people just hold the games as a service to like this high, super high standard. But, you know, on the same token, it's totally different for like something like Marvel Spider-Man or any other single player game within that genre.
Yeah. The funny thing is, me and June actually mentioned this before when we were talking about Miles Morales. The reason why I didn't pick it up is more so because, don't get me wrong, I love Spider-Man. I love them both. But it's just more so that, like, if you only do the main story, it's only going to take you about, what I want to say, 6 hours at the most. Because that's how long it took.
Yeah, it only took 6 hours.
Yeah, about 6 hours. Thing is with Avengers, even though there's really nothing here right now, I can still keep coming back to it because, you know, like, there's still stuff that I want, still stuff that I need to do. And the issue with games like those, like, you got Spider-Man, Ghost of Tsushima. Don't get me wrong, those games are fun, but after you finish it, there's pretty much nothing left to do other than replay the story or go back and do challenges that you maybe might not have done before, because I've played through every single Batman game in the series at least 3 times each. And it was repetitive, and it took me no time because I knew exactly what was coming, and I knew what to do. I knew what to do and when I needed to do it. With live service games, it's different. Like, when you have raids and stuff, when you have new scenarios that's being thrown at you every time, when you're getting involved in new missions that spawn different enemies. Like, for example, once we get our hands on the Cake mission, because I believe it was said the final mission in her DLC there's a multiplayer version of it that's multiplayer only, and that's going to be bumped up way higher than the actual story mission. So like, when you can keep coming back to stuff like that, at that point, that's when it starts to become less repetitive than I would say some single player games.
Yeah.
I agree with that too. I think just a lot of people initially coming into the game who was just kind of, again, just general audience was like, it was little stuff like, we have to buy this, we have to buy that, and then us as content creators are like, hey, like you don't have to buy this costume. That's 100% on you. And I remember like even at the high end of showing off the character models and stuff, they're like, these are like the MCU characters. It was just from the start, it seemed like people just were having it out for this game from the beginning. It's just like, guys, give it a chance. Let's see what it's like. Let's see what the gameplay is like. But once we started seeing more things, the models got updated and things like these characters coming out, like Kate Bishop, her change. I think it's a big experience difference now than how it was at the beginning. Because even for myself, I know we were talking about Miles Morales just a second ago. My Miles Morales froze on PS5 twice. And I wasn't really like bugging about it. For some particular reason, the same mission, I did it twice. It just froze every single time. So I'm like, whatever, close it, reopen it. And again, people just have a huge uproar. If that was Marvel Avengers, people would have lost it, deleted the game right then and there. It's just baffling. So I'm like, yo, I paid, in my case, I bought the collection. So I paid $60 for my Miles Morales and the remastered. And even my remastered glitched. Everybody who was on the street glitched in the water, so they were walking on water, and I was like, "Yo, what's going on with the game here? Like, what's happening?"
Like everybody turned into Jesus on it.
Yeah, exactly.
Jesus effect.
But it's just like that. Like your casual fans, your fans, the same people who be like, "Yo, Marvel Avengers is glitching. Nah, this game is trash." If that was Spider-Man, they'd be like, "Oh, it's just okay. I'll just restart it." You know what I'm saying? You gotta have that. You gotta have that equality. You know what I'm saying? You gotta have the same perspective. If anything, I'd be more pissed if I was that fan, if I paid, for the single player experience, nothing to do with online, just nothing but story, and then
this is game $70 now.
Exactly.
Sony looking at you. Like
it's just kind of bananas how everyone is, it treats a certain game over another game, and again, I know Marvel Avengers it's had some waves, it's got its moments, but I feel like again, once the DLC starts getting rolled out, like we get Kate Bishop, then we get Hawkeye, we get Black Panther, and whoever kind of falls in the path after that. Whenever Spider-Man drops, I know a lot of PS fans are beyond excited about that and praying and hoping to God that's Insomniac Spider-Man. But I told them not to hold their breath on that one. So, so they're ready for those DLCs, and I think that's when the game will start really picking up. If a player comes in, couple months down the line, like, oh snap, this kid is in, this kid is in, this kid is in. Oh, I can go to this place, Wakanda. I can go to, hopefully one day we get Asgard or something unlocked. That'd be dope. Like things of that nature. I think that would really change the perspective of what the fans, could have had back then versus what they're gonna be looking forward to in the future.
Because I also want to chime in there because one thing you said earlier, one of the things that would help this game out majorly because. Now, for me, for example, I feel like Kate is going to be a good stepping stone, but I don't believe it will be Kate necessarily because essentially, look at it this way. So me and June have played Destiny heavy, and we both know Destiny has been through its share of issues. Mm-hmm. Basically, I would say Avengers needs its comparison to, I want to say something like The Taken King or Shadowkeep.
Oh, yeah. Facts.
If that big expansion that comes along with the game being relaunched and redone, I feel like going to bring back a lot of players, especially with some of the characters that were leaked. Now, I don't really want to, get into that. I mean, I don't really want to get into that, but some of the characters, I am excited to see. In Spider-Man, for example, I feel like a lot of people that were trashing are pretty much going to turn heel and come back just for him.
Yeah, and that, truth be told, I think that's what it's going to be is, oh, Spider-Man's in the game? I got to pick it up now. You know what I'm saying? At least for the PlayStation people. Xbox, I'm sorry.
Yeah. Not much we can do. That's if he's just a time exclusive now. As if.
Yeah, I still believe, I don't know if you guys do, but I believe that he's going to be a time exclusive.
Yeah.
Everybody has this misconception that Spider-Man is just owned by Sony and Sony can make all the decisions, and if they don't have the final say so, then he's not going anywhere. But I'm pretty sure that Sony spent a certain amount of money to secure this exclusive deal that's only, for a certain amount of time. I don't think this is going to be just like a one and done thing, because like, why would you want to just develop a character just to have them on one platform?
Right.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? How is that going to work with all the other stuff? Are you going to work around that and say, oh, you're just not going to mention this character when we bring out all these other characters? How are they going to bounce off of Peter Parker?
Exactly.
You know what I'm saying? Within that story, because that's another thing that's going to get people back on board. Because if you guys notice, like, when video clips of this game started surfacing on YouTube, like during the embargo, like a lot of stuff that people were getting hyped about and like they were actually warming up to the game about was the story aspect of it.
Yeah.
Like I remember game clips, screw them. I can't stand them because they spoiled so much of Miles Morales for me, like before I even got my hands on the game. But like when game clips were uploading those clips and stuff, and people were noticing how well the story was done, how Crystal Dynamics was implementing these cool, tight structured set pieces, just like you see up in Marvel Spider-Man, people were like, oh man, this game looks good. You know, I can look past the designs. They've grown on me. That's going to be something that sells them back on it. And I see Crystal Dynamics doing that. They're focusing on the story aspects too when they're delivering these additional characters.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
And because of the story, our newcomer, Kamala Khan, Sandra Side, because I believe it took place today. She won, what was it? I think best performance.
Oh yeah, she deserved it.
Yeah.
She deserved it. She did good.
100%. That was the heart and the soul of the game right there.
Good.
And even as a whole, for people who did play the story, like they have a new profound respect for just Kamala Khan's character in the comics. Like even myself, like I knew of her, like I did, like based off of like, the one Lego game I played, like comics I've read, Ultimate Alliance 3, like I know of her character, but I didn't really know her. Even myself, I spent some additional time kind of like researching her character, some more of her lore, and then of course now we know she's getting a whole television show just because of the spike in popularity of that character, right? So I think it plays once you learn about the characters, and again, like we were saying, you get used to those character designs. Like now I don't really hear that issue as much anymore, but you kind of just really get used to it. So for the most part, I've seen progression, at least in that area.
Yeah, Marvel, the people over at Marvel know what they're doing. Like Marvel Entertainment, they know how to introduce these characters. Because like if you guys noticed, before like Into the Spider-Verse came around, Miles Morales was already walking around in Insomniac's world of Marvel Spider-Man. Yep. I always try to tell people that, because it seems like Spider-Man Into the Spider-Verse has become so popular and mainstream that people just base every version of Miles off of that. They say, oh, he needs to have the Air Jordan 1s. And I'm like, Miles wasn't wearing no Air Jordan 1s up in Insomniac's version before that movie came out. So why would he be wearing them now? Why are y'all so butthurt that this dude has on Adidas instead of like Jordans? This ain't the Into the Spider-Verse Miles. This is Insomniac's Miles. It's a difference.
That was my only issue. If they were high tops, I would have been fine because I like Adidas, but I know I can't do low top.
I feel that.
I can't do it.
No, man, I know for me, and again, looking in the future of this game is, like we were saying, I think Black Panther, Kate Bishop, I haven't read too much personally on her character. I don't think she's going to be a huge selling point, but I think it's a start to kind of get the engine going, right? Yeah. Once Black Panther drops, we get Wakanda, we get those raids, we get really just once we get to play as his character, okay? That's when I see the game going from, so I play from time to time, like, hey, I'm playing this game like, a couple of times a week. Like I'm doing the raids, I'm coming back to get costumes every Thursday or so. Like, I think that's when we'll start really ramping up on just, bringing in new players, bringing back old players and things like that.
Yeah, there's a lot of stuff that it's like that. Well, I keep saying Insomniac, but there's a lot of stuff that Crystal Dynamics has up in the chamber. A lot of bullets that are they're gonna fire off. They're gonna get people's attention. We still haven't gotten the MCU suits yet, which I'm pretty sure is gonna get a lot of people hyped to come back and play.
Oh yeah.
Because that seems to be the thing that everybody was just so obsessed over. Why don't they look like the movie counterparts? And like you said, all the other stuff too. So yeah, it's like this game isn't dead just yet.
Yeah.
You know, there's a lot of stuff they can do to redeem it.
It ain't dead until they turn off the service.
That is true.
Exactly. I know personally for myself, I actually have a friend at work, and he's a big comic guy. We already said I don't even care the price point. Once they drop the MCU suits, I'm here for it. I'm dropping the bands, whatever it costs. I'm buying it. I need them
I ain't gonna
suits
look.
just to have them. You know what I'm saying? It's just I just want to have the look. If I'm gonna have everyone in the MCU suits, I might as well.
People
why
gonna
not?
drop a bag on that. I can already see it. They go.
You already know.
I'm dropping a cool $30 and going about my day.
Right.
Here's my only thing with MCU suits, because this is one thing that a lot of people tend not to recognize, is that throughout a good portion of the movies, with the exception of a couple of people, like for example, Scarlet Witch or Captain America, going from the first movie to Civil War, and then from Infinity War to Endgame. A lot of the characters have pretty much had these same suits for a good run of their careers, just with minor altercations to it. Iron Man, for someone example, like pretty much every suit he has can do some of the same things, but like they look different, they feel different, all of that. Widow, with the exception of the Age of Ultron shoot, she's pretty much had almost no changes, like not that many major changes to her costume until I want to say Infinity War.
Yeah, I think yeah.
These costumes would be great, but what I'm trying to tell people is there's not going to be that many MCU costumes for every single person as you think is going to be.
Yeah. Because I know Cap has a good amount of suits. Iron Man obviously has the most out of anybody. But when you look at MCU Black Panther, he's only got 2 suits, unless they drop the Golden Jaguar suit and the T'Chaka suit. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, you don't have many options. Same thing with Scarlet Witch. She only has 2 costumes in the game as well. And like you were saying, Black Widow, she's got very minor, things. Hulk doesn't have many MCU suits.
He does that really nothing.
Professor Hulk.
Hulk
was his first major suit change.
And if they drop it, that's a cop instantly. But there's not many suits they're gonna drop. So I'm kind of wondering, because I'm not gonna front I don't like Captain America's first Avengers movie suit. It's kind of ugly. It really is. We already have a version of this, but his best suit to me is his Winter Soldier suit. That's the best
Winter Soldier, raw.
Yeah.
Wait. When you say Winter
Soldier, everybody, they seem to relate to the Captain Steve Rogers suit.
The stealth suit? Is that what you're talking about?
Yeah, the stealth suit.
All right, okay, yeah, we on the same page here.
So that's that is his best suit. And for me, as much as I like all these Iron Man suits, I really just want the last one he used in Endgame.
Okay,
yeah.
You mean when he finally got the scales armor after it?
Yeah,
15 years to do so.
Yeah, and same thing with Iron Man. That suit is the same thing I want. Every suit.
I don't want that first movie suit. That shit was
we don't need the first movie, so we pretty much got a version of that already. There's a couple of suits I think that they can introduce. That I just hope they make it worth it overall, and they're not ridiculously priced either.
I think that's one thing that Crystal Dynamics and the design team, they need to work on actually creating pre-existing suits that look like they can exist within the MCU or any kind of live action movie. Because I think that's where Insomniac does so well.
Oh yeah.
In terms of designs, just having these talented artists bring these suits to life in a way that we never really could have imagined. If you haven't had a chance to see these suits in any kind of live action format, they at least give you an idea of what the suits could look like. You could see from the different textures and stuff like that, and the design patterns. That's what Crystal Dynamics needs to do. They need to find somebody that can actually bring those pre-existing suits to life. Give us something else, because I think we kind of noticed that there's a limited amount of suits, and most of them are just variants, in different color swaps and stuff.
Yeah. Compared to using Miles Morales, in the comics and even in movies and everything like the animated, he doesn't have that many suits. They really pulled out the imaginative side of the artist to bring all these different suit variations. I'm bro, he does not have this many suits.
I know.
but y'all really came out here with these suits. Like, there's a couple of them that I really like, and even the pre-order suit, the one that's the white and the red.
The track
like
suit.
Oh yeah,
yeah, that's fire.
Oh yeah,
Yeah, that's actually from one of the comic book illustrators.
So like that's yeah, I can agree. I think that's what they need to, on the Crystal Dynamics side, bring in some artists, because again, we have the super soldier suit, the one that we essentially start with for Captain America, and then you get a desert color, you get an Arctic color, you get this color, this color, this color, and then it's color swaps. Like I don't really care for the color swaps a whole bunch, because I use about the same 2 or 3 suits, and I may switch the color every now and then. And even for Iron Man, the one that I really want, we haven't even had in the game yet. So
Yeah.
it's like the Stark. It's the Bleeding Edge suit, not the Stark suit of his version, but the
actual Bleeding Edge suit.
Yeah, that's what I'm waiting on personally. Like I haven't seen that.
Iron Man. That is Superior Iron Man.
Like both would be good. I saw people swooping up on their unworthy Thor. I didn't get mine. I'm kind of
I
bummed.
didn't get mine either. Well, when I saw it was glitch, I just didn't even waste my time with it. But people that got theirs now.
Must be nice, but I think like things like that, like when I saw, I was like, I instantly grabbed a controller and was like, turn on the console. This needs to be bought now. Like hopping on, I was like, oh, this ain't even here. So I think if they bring more suits, bring in more designs, pulling those from the comics, and it doesn't have to be even MCU related, just bringing those in from the comics that fans will like and giving us some diversity, some change, like just to make even though the character is fundamentally the same, it feels different.
Yeah.
I've been saving for Kate. I'm gonna be honest.
Yeah, I kind of caved in on Cap's Legendary suit. I ain't gonna lie, I went ahead and purchased that one. Like that was pretty dope.
I did too. I knew for the meantime that was probably the closest thing I was gonna get for like an end game-ish suit. So I was like, you know what? Let's go ahead and scoop it up. And since I'm a Cap main, I was like, I'm gonna go ahead and just treat my boy right one time, get him looking right.
I feel that. Yeah. I ain't gonna lie. I feel like not a lot of people talk about it, but the fact that this game is like 50% off, I feel like it's a steal. Like I really feel like it's a steal. Cause you getting all DLC characters and DLC for free, and it's $30 right now. That's a steal.
That's what people don't.
I feel like that's a steal.
We've all said this multiple times, not only as content creators, but as friends to one another, trying to get other people into the game. You don't have to pay for anything outside of the base game. You don't have to there is no excuse for you to be coming to me saying you're mad at me because I made you buy this game when you only spent $60 on it when you was ready to spend it on Fortnite. No. You suck at Fortnite. This is a much better purchase. And then on top of that, like Jim said, everything is free. You don't got to go in your pocket for anything else. It's that simple.
Yeah, it's like I've and I used to cover like anime games in the past, and I'm like, looking at some of those, not I don't know how to really put that in the nicest way. I guess not the best anime games, right? It's just like we spent $60 on this, plus buying DLC for the game. Now you can buy Marvel Avengers, not pay for a DLC character ever, not pay for a costume ever, and you still get full-fledged character story content and much more. Which one you really mad at me about? This anime game we shouldn't have bought, or this game we should be buying, playing together, unlocking different costume suits, areas, and all this stuff. Like,
right, man. Like I say, man, it's just the popular thing to do is to just badmouth the game. Sure. Especially if you even haven't bothered picking it up, which most content creators that have shat on the game haven't done. They haven't really bothered playing the game. And you have those who just want to play the game just so they can make a bad review about it. Dreamcast guy.
Oh yeah, I ain't gonna lie. People be telling me to watch these videos. I'm like, ain't no point in me watching the videos if they really didn't spend over real time playing it. They probably played. I'm not gonna say they haven't, but they probably played a couple hours or 20 some hours. But to really flesh out, get aired all your gear straight. If you get your gear straight on your character, you could be OP as hell.
Right. That's the thing. People are so bothered by not seeing the aesthetics change when you upgrade the gear that they didn't really bother to see the effects of the gear itself because they kept saying, "Oh, I don't see any difference in this gear like that I've upgraded. Like where's the plasma and all this?" It's like they didn't bother to put enough time in it to see the actual results of it and play around with it because that's one of the most funnest aspects of the game, just playing around with all the different gears and building your idea character.
Right. And the combat too.
You know?
The combat in this game is top tier. Like,
yeah, I think people easily just dismiss like, bro, there's no other game, and I had a person talk to me about like, yeah, like I like Ultimate Alliance better than this. I'm like, are you serious? are we really having this conversation right now? Like Ultimate, like don't get me wrong, I love Ultimate Alliance. It's a fun game. All three are fantastic, but I'm not doing combos with Captain America like that. You know what I'm saying? In this game, I'm doing combos, I'm doing tricks, I'm bashing the shit off of every single opponent, going back at me, doing combos left and right. Like you don't get that anywhere else, especially in superhero games like that is Marvel related besides Spider-Man. The crazy part is for me is like DC does well. Like Batman is probably one of the most known superhero games of all time. The entire Arkham series, right? And then followed by that, it's going to be the Spider-Man series at this point with Miles Morales and Spider-Man. But there is no other game so far, and I know Gotham Knight's coming out, but Marvel Avengers is doing it well. It's a multiple character combo, like the combos are crazy. The things you could do, and I've watched like everyone like Lejeune's combos with Hulk is ridiculous. My man is knocking out multiple millions worth of damage. Like you can really adjust it to your play style. There's not many games letting you do that. Like once you lock everything in Spider-Man, like you can switch up, you can do some cool tricks and stuff, but you can't change anything up additionally besides kind of what you already have there. You can't add anything else. There's no effects to it. Nothing. I will say Miles Morales did add a little something on there because that Venom is kind of dope. But outside of that, there's not really much else compared to like Avengers where you can add on these different attributes that really changes the gameplay.
True.
Speaking of attributes, it was said that while because this brings me into the next topic. Well, Kate necessarily her quantum, because I remember somebody asked this question. Her quantum isn't really a new. But we are going to be getting more in the future, and I'm curious as to exactly what we're going to get because I remember for the longest, Cosmic wasn't there when the game first got here. Like everybody was looking for Cosmic gear, nobody could find it. Like, what ideas? Like, what else do you guys think that they could possibly add in as a demo?
I don't know. Like, what else could go past Cosmic though? Like, that's the thing.
Yeah, I don't know if there is much else.
For me personally, when it comes to the whole mystical side, I'm thinking more so. I'm thinking of kind of like for Doctor Strange. I don't know why, but this is more so like Ghost Rider related. I'm thinking of a kind of like Hellfire type of like a Hellfire.
Oh yeah, so yeah, because
that would be too close to Plasma, but at the same time, it would be like it'd just be like what a mix between Plasma and Cosmic. I think I'm not sure.
Yeah, yeah, that's true when you think. Oh, like no, I was gonna say Nova, but I guess you consider Nova as Cosmic.
Yeah.
Because I will say, well, I know we're gonna get one. Well, if we do get somebody like Scarlet Witch, for example, what I want to say hex damage.
They might try to do like some kind of more vibranium gear or something
that would be dope. That'd be dope, and maybe some effects that
that would be wonderful for me because then I could finally fix the defense on my Iron Man because he's a very strong glass cannon.
Oh yeah, facts. I mean, it really depends though, because say for like the elements on like the Infinity Gauntlet, like I know it's Chaos. The Time Stone, just like they could do probably like pull some elements from that. I think.
Yeah, space, power, time, mind, and reality.
Yeah, I mean they could.
Reality would be related to Scarlet Witch, actually. Yeah, Chaos Magic would be related to Scarlet Witch.
I think that would work. The only worry for me if they decide to go that route is I just don't want I honestly, as much as I love the movies and Black Order, just don't pull Thanos.
Oh
into
yeah,
this game.
no,
Like,
yeah, hell no. I don't know.
just don't do that.
Yeah.
Say like year 4. Don't bring him in no time soon, because like, bro, in comics, cartoons, movies, everything has just been full of him. Like we don't like we already got our just due of him. We don't need him no more right now. Give us somebody else like Dr. Doom.
Yeah, like there's and I know for like more typical like non-comic book fans, just kind of general MCU fans, like they're like, yo, Thanos is one of the dopest villains I've ever seen. I'm like, there's a whole new world out there in them comics. I'm
He not much know about Kang the Conqueror,
like. Right. And that right there is something like originally when I was kind of doing like discussions about the game, I was like, I wonder if King the Conqueror would be the main villain of the game. Obviously that didn't happen. We got MODOK, and I think even though he is not as big, I think he was great for this game and what the story was for it. Because at that point, we can just add on like, hey, there's bigger people than him, and just kind of going up that ladder. Like we're saying, like make Thanos a year, 3 or 4, kind of the last one. If we want to do that route, I'm fine with it because it's been years. Not like because I'm pretty sure we got Endgame in that Marvel Ultimate Alliance in the same year. Mm-hmm. So it was Thanos and Thanos back to back. And I'm just
Yeah. Not to mention the cartoons, because the cartoons that were following them, that were following the movie. Then you had that Fortnite tie-in.
Yeah.
Thanos, and then when he finally got in the pop culture references, Thanos was everywhere. You literally couldn't get away from him.
Yeah, he was all over the place, and even games like Marvel vs. Capcom Infinite.
Yeah, he was the main. I was like, man.
He is everywhere. You know what I'm saying?
It's like they could have used so many other ones. I think Dr. Doom was one of the most underrated villains that doesn't really get utilized to the fullest like he needs to, because I guess the reputation of the films.
And I would think, taking Dr. Doom, let's say they do put him in Marvel Avengers. I mean, introducing the Fantastic Four in a game like this, like we see with Kamala Khan, that stretching and growing is not an issue. So Mr. Fantastic is pretty much handled. So right. I think it's feasible if they want to bring in, more characters just outside the standard Avengers, which it looks like, hopefully that's what they're doing. We have some really good options, and it would change up the gameplay quite a bit too. So
the only thing is with Doom is that because we have somebody like him, you gotta remember, for everybody that knows about Doom, he first started off primarily as a villain of the Fantastic Four, but over time, the man knows magic. He's he's more intelligent than Tony, but Reed is still a bit smarter than him. He has his hands in magic and cosmic powers and whatnot. He's evolved to the point as to where whenever he steps onto the scene, it's an issue for anybody that's already there, and not just the Fantastic Four. So he's evolved into, I want to say an S tier villain.
True.
Yeah.
Oh, definitely. It's like Dr. Doom is one of those characters that just loves to acquire anything. It doesn't matter if it's so beyond his reach. It's like he's literally taking the Beyonders' powers. I think he's taken Galactus's powers, or became more powerful than Galactus. Yep. So that's a character that you can play around with and do so many different things with. You know what I'm saying? Because he's such a unique and dynamic villain.
Yep. And I think. What did you say?
Oh, I was just gonna say. I think on top of that, if they were to throw a character like this in the game, you have Latveria that we could expand on. His castle we could expand on as a whole different area of the game to look at too. It's just open season of opportunities that, if they put this character in, that we could just explore.
For example, so has anyone here played Ultimate Alliance 2?
Yeah.
Okay, so you guys remember the first mission, right? How Fury led a strike team for a secret raid on Latveria. They could easily give us a raid for that. That requires us breaking in to find Doom.
That could work. And I think, I ain't gonna lie, I think not a lot of people notice when it goes to Dr. Doom. He is really, really underrated and strong, because in the comics, I think this is when Doom was, I think he had the power of cosmic. This man, Thanos had the Infinity Gauntlet and everything. This man went up to Dr. Doom and tried to, confront him. He thought he was weak and all. This man, Dr. Doom, pulled his skull out his whole body and killed him in an instant. And I don't think a lot of people know that.
Man, it's like Dr. Doom's intellect knows no bounds, bro. It's like you can't stop a guy with an intellect who's power hungry like that.
Yeah.
So seeing Dr. Doom wouldn't be bad. I ain't gonna lie. When you really think about it, so. And
then you have other major villains that can step in. Like for example, the Mandarin and Fing Fang Foom. That would be a good duo to see. Everybody wants to see Ultron. I would imagine that we could maybe see Graviton, considering that he has been a major. Like a lot of people don't know who he is, but he's been a major thing in the Avengers side for multiple times, and on more than one occasion, has pretty much ended up killing all of them.
Jumping on Ultron, and I know, personally, after rewatching it a couple times, a lot of people do not like Age of Ultron. Just truth be told, it is probably the weakest out of the Avengers movies. But after I've watched a couple times, I've grown to like it. I think the storyline for Ultron wasn't the best, but the amount of Easter eggs that Age of Ultron had for the MCU was incredible. They had so many Easter eggs that kind of fell through for Infinity War, Endgame, and additionally. But I think Ultron would be another great character to introduce, because that could tie into a storyline between, Tony and kind of showing more of his character too. And I think that'd be just nice to, bring it back in at some point to the main cast, of our main Avengers, and, having the additional other Avengers help out and face against Ultron. I think that'd be really cool too. And plus you can introduce a brand new, enemy type with, Ultron bots or whatever you want to call them.
Yeah, I don't know. I think I probably want to wait, because it seems like that's what everybody's been getting tired of, just like robot enemies.
True.
They want to fight some other type. Like I'll probably take it to Asgard and have frost giants or some kind of otherworldly creatures.
Oh yeah, sure.
They Ultimate Alliance did that very well. Multiple enemy types you had, fire demons, you had doom bots, you had variants. So Ultimate Alliance did that wonderfully. If they can take that aspect, which I believe they're trying to do, and put it into the game, I believe that'll give everyone.
Oh, for sure.
And like Lejeune was saying, let's take Asgard. That's a huge concept right there. You can introduce more of Thor's lineage and his people as guardians and everything of that nature. But I'm gonna say, and I know they're usually really good at making open world games, but if the Assassin's Creed can do this, I'm pretty sure we can get a decently scaled version of this within Marvel's Avengers.
Oh yeah,
with those different enemy types like the Frost Giant.
We can probably meet Hela, and shout outs to what was that, Team Ninja, man, because they made one of the finest versions of Hela I've ever seen. Y'all seen that Ocean Alliance 3 Hela?
Yes.
He was thick. Man, they made Hela dumb thick in that game, bro. They made me want to just go down the hill and just live there for an eternity, just like to be around her.
Thanks.
For real, if they bring Hela up in this game, man, they got to compete with Team Ninja.
Hey, she was fine in the movie too. She was fine. She was fine in Ragnarok.
Oh yeah. It's they took that version and just amplified it up in there. Let's just go ahead and make everything at the bottom and the lower half just super big.
I think wasn't it in the Thor it was in the Thor comics as well when he was in hell. We had to give he had to give her a son for him to return back to Earth.
Something like that.
Yeah. So yeah, I can see it. I promise.
Another topic that we have here. So, exactly what are you guys expecting coming from Kate, Hawkeye, and the Cloner Labs? Because, as it was said, while Miller was streaming the other day, we were talking about the Cloner Labs. There was another streamer known as FM3 who got into the first part of Cloner Labs. He had made it onto the bridge, and there was a structure below it, I believe, where there was a kind of puzzle sequence. Now, I went back and watched the video myself to see if what Miller was saying was matching up. He had no idea what the fuck he was doing.
Oh yeah, it just like randomly popped up for him.
There were clues everywhere, but he wasn't really
Oh,
necessarily
looking. He wasn't looking for it.
he wasn't paying attention to it, and there's supposed to be multiple puzzles like within the cloning labs, but the first one, well, the one that we saw him come across was a kind of like DNA seekers thing where you have pressure plates, and the way that it worked was that you have a set number of times within a loop that you can complete the step after messing it up. But once you hit the set number, if you fail too many times, you get a hard reset and you have to do it again from the start.
I like that. I like stuff like that.
Yeah, that's dope.
Because it could be real easy sometimes. Like say for instance, like when Destiny, when they release their raid sometimes. I like the puzzles that come with it, and like you have to really like work as a team to get through it, because you know some games don't execute it as well, and you know unfortunately they do get it right when they learn from the mistakes. But I feel like having that in Avengers makes it a way better experience, because you could blindly go into a mission and just do whatever. You just like you could just easily just complete the mission. But if you got some puzzles in there, it's gonna make you think, and I guess it's say it brightens up the experience for it. So I'm glad that they added puzzles in it, and it seems that like they gonna try to make it challenging. So I'm excited for stuff like that. I like stuff like that.
Sorry for my outburst, everybody. I had my notification. And I have a little Uzi sound clip on my notification, so it just popped up in my ear like extremely loud.
You're good.
I thought it was turned off, but no. So another thing, big piggybacking on what June was saying, it's all like, well, those are always fun. Me personally, I like it more so when the puzzles are included heavily in the fight somehow. Like for example, has anybody ever played DC Universe?
Oh yeah.
The boss. Well, no, the raid mission against Necron, the leader of the Black Lanterns, where you have to do all of this stuff mid fight, and like in order to be able to weaken him, because he can't be touched while that's still up. Like you have to go and collect rings of light. You have to save other people while the fight is still going on and try not to die. And before that, you have to deal with possessed versions of people like Superboy and Stargirl and all of that before you can even get to Necron himself. And Necron himself is already a pain to fight. And so stuff like that, I pretty much like. Also, not to mention that the way that Cloning Labs and some of this feature concept is supposed to work, the difficulty is going to depend on how well you perform. So essentially, the outcome of the mission is going to tie into how well you completed the previous step.
Okay, so basically, like, it's gonna be like we're gonna basically get like a harder boss at the end.
Think like a Telltale game. Whatever you do in the objective beforehand is going to have an impact on what comes next for you.
Okay. So basically, if you do trash, you probably go get just a trash boss. Maybe you gonna have like a trash experience.
And and if you do well, it's gonna be challenging, and you're probably gonna get some decent gear if you can knock it out the park.
Yeah, okay, I like that. I like stuff like that.
Yeah, but guys, I hate to cut things short, but I gotta go ahead and bow out of this one.
Oh, that's cool.
He did have to dip. He did have to dip early. I'm just glad he came through. I'm just glad he came through in general.
Yeah, man, I had to, man. I owed it to you guys, man, because y'all have been holding it down. Like, even when I haven't really been doing anything in regards to Marvel's Avengers and the content has been scarce on my channel, you guys have been holding it down. So I think I owe it to you guys, and I owe it to the rest of the community who've been wanting me to talk more about it, the current condition of it. So I appreciate you all for just letting me come in and just chime and say what I had to say about it.
Yeah, no problem.
Definitely.
Yeah, we all support each other. We not out here calling people clowns like some people. We not out. Shit, we all here for one another.
Yep. But all right, man. I'll see you guys later. I'll talk to you guys later.
All right, man.
All right, peace.
So June here, who is pretty much, I want to say, our golden boy for for the Avengers community. If there was anything, let's say, for example, that you could add, no matter what it was, what would you like to see be implemented into the game that you think would pretty much help it out in the long? Like what do you think it needs, or what do you want?
I think it needs a recalibration station. It needs it, and that's what I would want as well. Of course, like I can add like multiple things, like 2 things. I want to add something else in that as well. I want to add it where the difficulty matters. I did. I don't do this for games at all, but like I legit typed out a little document on things that can improve on, and it got to them. They are reviewing what I sent, so that's pretty cool. And that was one of the things. We need a recalibration station, and difficulty needs to matter because everyone can play. If you're like an elitist and you want to play like on brutal, you don't really get rewarded for it. To be honest, you really don't get rewarded for it. Like someone can just complete, like for instance, like the like a elite hive on regular and still get the same loot as me. When if I'm playing on just the hardest difficulty, I should get like rewarded with like probably like an exotic at the end. I get like a higher chance at an exotic with better stats or something like that. And I feel like that's one of the things that need to be that's like, to be honest, it's like games as a service 101, to be honest. Harder difficulty, better loot. So I feel like that's something that needs to be added. And as I said, a recalibration station wouldn't be bad. So I think that's the things I would want to be added, to be honest.
Yes, Peter, a reroll system would be lovely. A reroll system would be very much appreciated.
Very much needed at this point. For just sometimes you don't get what you want, so it'd be nice to try it again for better odds.
You know how long it took me to find a heroic piece for Iron Man that was actually good and it wasn't blue?
Even now, I'm still like finding things that's better for my Hulk build, and like I think I got what I want. Like even though I'm still missing some things I can still get, I'm pretty perfect with what I want right now. But I could still even make my build better. It's just the fact that it takes a long time. Even though I'm like it's be like 2 or 3 months in the game, I think, if I'm correct. And I'm still trying to perfect out my Hulk build. So
yeah, like her.
And for me, I think that's going to definitely play a part. Is if they do implement those, that'll help players stick on top of the game, because what happens when we're facing enemies 2 or 3 years down the road. Like how much harder are they, and how much more do I need to stack up my gear to face against these certain type of enemy types or this certain boss? So like again, like you're saying, like someone who plays on brutal versus playing on just normal, saying they shouldn't get the same reward chances. They should heavily be increased.
Yes.
For them for sure. I mean, besides that, if it was me, I kind of just at this point just want more content. As much more as we can.
Sure.
I feel like once the DLC gets rolling, I think that's when I can say, cool. Now I have someone new to play with. That's new combos to explore. Like the crazy thing is, when I'm watching the Kate Bishop, I totally spaced unless I just didn't see this. Is I didn't know she had a sword too. I thought she was just 100% bow.
Oh, no.
So I kind of was like, am I tripping? Did I miss this? So I was like, so it threw me off, and I'm like, well, that's a whole nother set of combos I'm trying to learn. Like, I just thought I was just coming here, do the Robin Hood thing, and dip. Now I have swords to, kind of figure out, and teleporting, and I'm like, this adds a layer of depth. And I know when they add in like getting Black Panther, Spider-Man, and all those other characters, I think it's just going to add a lot more. And I'm hoping they get the DLC characters rolling in, because like as much as I love playing as the main cast, like I know once they just release Kate Bishop, if you're playing with a squad, I don't want to be fighting with a homie over one character. That's just not what I'm trying to do. So,
right.
Once the DLC can start coming out, but I ain't gonna hold you. Once Black Panther come out, I'm probably gonna rock just single player for a hot minute, because I'm really not trying to share that. Like if we play online, I'm already trying to claim it. So, Because like no one's gonna want to not play as Black Panther once he drops. You know, it's
everybody gonna be on. Everybody gonna be on.
Everybody. It's the same thing with Spider-Man when he dropped. Who's not gonna want to use Spider-Man? Come on, it's just kind of crazy. Unless you just build it like you just started playing the game, you're like, well, I got all these characters to choose from. But
somebody might get DDoSed over Spider-Man.
But it's just, yeah, I think, you know, a couple little tweaks to the game. And what I can say this, and one thing I heavily appreciate is Crystal Dynamics is probably one of the developers as far as like game coverages I've done that really looks at the community, really tries to stay in tune with them, and like really looks at their audience like, hey, what do you guys look for? Awesome. Let's get this implemented. 2 or 3 patch later, hey guys, we fixed that you guys were talking about. It's almost baffling because like I've covered other games in the past, and like I covered Naruto Storm 4 for a while, for like a hot minute, and we didn't get any updates for that game until a year and a half after.
Dang.
Everyone's clapping, hurrah! I'm like, bro, what y'all clapping for? We getting updates a year and a half after. I'm done playing this game. I'm done. Yeah. There's no reason for me to be happy. So Marvel Avengers is like, oh, y'all want this fixed? And then they start working with the team 2 or 3 patch later, maybe even quicker, depending on kind of what the issue is. It's already a patch out to fix that issue. So it's just that's one thing I could definitely like, you know, hats off to them for jumping on those updates and then bringing us things that we want. Like I remember when the game first came out, you know, Captain America was an awesome character to play with, but he couldn't smash or hack anything. I was like, bro, I like you for combos, but you pretty much trash besides that. I can't do nothing with you. I can't break a door. I can't hack nothing. And then, you know, we get a couple patches later. Now he can finally smash doors as he's meant to do. So at least I like the fact that they're taking, you know, proper feedback,
True.
In the best way possible. So that's pretty awesome.
No loss. Since we are talking about feedback, we should talk about like the general concept of just people not giving the like correct type of feedback to the devs in general when it comes to the game.
About toxic people, yeah. All right, let's get toxic.
Oh, yeah, you know, we get a little toxic. We get a little toxic. You know, we get a little toxic. You know, just a little something.
I got my water in my Chinese food.
But like the thing when I've been seeing lately, like just people they have things, they have concerns, but they don't give constructive criticism. And when they try to give stuff, it's like they just like throw a little bash in when they're doing it. And like I understand your frustration, like I really do, but that's not like the way you should go with it. And I 100% know they see everything, bro. I promise you, they probably do.
Oh, they do.
And as a person, I guess I ain't really tripping no more since I don't work for them no more. But as a person that did work in the game industry, I worked at EA for like a QA tester on Apex Legends. So I know how it is to like really people just like, you know, trashing on like say like a character coming out or something, and I tested on the character, like just giving our bugs and stuff for it. I'm like, dang, you know, that's tough. And the thing is, we really do like, you know, that's, I guess you could get like a little insider. We used to watch people videos like just to like find bugs or find things that, you know, they really like and that's interesting to them, and they implemented like stuff like that into the game. And you know, that's one of the reasons that, you know, they find bugs and all that. So I feel like that Iron Man bug is gonna get glitched with his spamming rockets. So that's 100% gonna happen. But they do watch stuff, and as the experience with me doing, they do watch videos. So I don't know. I just feel like people can somewhat be harsh to an extent, and you know, people had it out for this game since the beginning. So like it was expected. But like the things they be doing, like saying that the devs trash, like somebody else should develop this game, yada yada yada. I'm like, bruh, like, do you gotta like know, you know, like, are you human? You know, that's kind of hurtful. That's like saying somebody telling you that you're ugly, if you care about it. But that stuff can hurt, and you know, they humans as well. That stuff kind of it hurts. And I think that's what people don't think about. Some people really just don't think about it in that demographic because they say, oh, I don't really got to worry about it. They developed in the game. Why I got to, worry about them? I'm like, that's an interesting way how to think about things, bro. I ain't gonna lie. That's very interesting.
Yeah, like
in on that.
Very interesting.
Because the one thing that annoys me the most, right? Because June because I've actually talked about this before with him in private. You have people who are constantly doing reviews on the game, but it's not necessarily in good faith, and a lot of it is just pretty much just straight trashing. You have one person, for example. June knows exactly who I'm fucking talking about. You go out of your way to say that Crystal Dynamics screwed up. They don't deserve your time. They don't deserve your money. This would have been better as a single player game. And pretty much is everything out the ass. Yet, when they decide to do a developer stream, I see you in the comments going, hey guys, it's me. How you guys been? Have you guys received my list of suggestions for the game and this and that and everything else? While also trying to match up to play with them. So it's like, how can you sit here and act this way towards them and act like you really mean it? Act like you hate them for giving us this product that you feel like you force yourself to play, and then go out of your way to be buddy with them when you see that they're connecting with the community again. That bugs me. That bugs me to my core. If you gonna hate the game, stick to it. Don't swap sides just so you can get developers.
Don't flip flop. You know what I'm saying? And I think it's true, right? And as all three of us, like, we covered the game, we saw people in the comments, why you covering this trash? This game's gonna suck. This game gonna flop. This and on that.
No more. I get annoyed.
It's like
on Twitter. I don't read comments no more.
It's like, bro, let me enjoy it. Let me just enjoy it. You know what I'm saying? And I feel like that there is some people, had covered the game, and just people in general like, oh, this game isn't as bad as I thought it was. Of course it was. You never gave it a chance. It's from the rip. You saw Marvel Avengers. Boom. Okay. Oh, this ain't MCU people. Garbage.
Thanks.
And just got mad. You know what I'm saying? It's just like you didn't even give it a chance. And they took that feedback. They fixed character models. They fixed hair. They fixed graphic issues. They take a lot of that feedback and they made it in the best perception. So that way it kind of hits everybody's notes, but not going off of their path of what they wanted for the story, the look, the feel, and everything like that. But it's like Legend said, they had it out for the game since the beginning. As soon as we got that first trailer showing, gameplay clips, story clips, people were over it. They're like, nah, this game is not going to do well. I am hell bent on making sure this game is trashed. It is just that same thing throughout most of the journey of Marvel Avengers. And I see that it's converted a lot of fans, but a lot of people came in just kind of dissing the game off for it when it's just like, come on, man. Again, like, you want Insomniac to make this game, but it's not Insomniac can't make every single Marvel game. They can't do it. It's not a thing.
Right.
And my thing is, you have people who will sit here consistently and say, This Avengers game was trash. We needed the Guardians of the Galaxy. We needed the X-Men. We needed Inhumans. If you didn't like this game and the way it was done, and for you to say that you want them to do the same thing just with a different team, that's going against your entire statement. Because then you're going to be trashing that game as well.
100%. And then now you're even more mad because they use a character that you wanted even more in the game. Like, I saw some people like, they should have done X-Men instead. And I'm like, well, then if you didn't like this game and they did it this way, and if they would have put Wolverine in the game and he wasn't to your standards, you would have lost your mind. Would have absolutely lost it on Twitter. Bing, I hate this game. Tagging Crystal Dynamics, tagging Square Enix, and all this other stuff. Like, come on, man.
Yeah, like, I'm not gonna sit up and say like the game didn't have its faults. Like, it did.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm not gonna sit up and just lie and say it didn't. Like, even though some people think I just like defend it 24/7, but I can say it to this day, the game was not ready when it came out. Like, it wasn't. I say it multiple times, but people I just feel like they just think I'm just like the ultimate fanboy for. I'm like, nah, bro. Like, I know what happened with this game and how it came out. It's not at the perfect state right now, but at the end of the day, I'm just a fanboy. I just agree with I just agree with what everybody say. I mean, what everything say.
Yeah, I don't think a lot of people notice that. Is like, as much as we cover these games, we talk about it, like we're still looking at it as a content creator. Like, hey, this game isn't perfect, but it's not as bad as y'all making it seem. Y'all just make it seem this is the worst game on the planet. Now we're looking at every perspective. How's the online? How's the story driven portion? How's the the microtransactions? We're taking every element to say, okay, collectively this game is solid. It's a really good game. But there's things that still needs to be fixed. And even myself, I can say that like there's still portions of this game that needs to be done, fixed, polished up.
Yeah.
But at the same time, it's not a bad game. Like I don't know another developer, I don't know another game that is going to be dropping, let's just say they drop 10 characters that are going to be DLC. I don't know any other company that's dropping free characters. If they were $10 a pop, and 10 characters, 10 DLC, that's $100 that I don't have to spend.
Yeah.
Like, no one else is competing with something like that. Like that alone made me like, I'm copping this game just for that. Like, not only are you bringing me a great game with comic characters that I like, but you're making me not spend money for the extra characters.
Oh, that's a dub.
Are you serious? Like, that's a whole dub. Like right there, I'm set. I'm happy. You give me a great experience with a great game, and now I can buy other games if I want to on top of that, just because you saved me all this money.
Yeah.
Like it's just Again, people just had they looked at this game, that trailer dropped, and they're like, "Yo, I'm bashing it." Case closed.
And they're going to be the same people that's going to be trying to hop on and test out these new characters when they get here. For example, June. I don't know if you know, but I hope you're ready for December 8th because I know you going to stream.
Oh, yeah.
And I know I'm gonna have to be in there moderating your chat because everybody that's gonna be trying to play with you is gonna be trying to snatch cake. And somebody gonna get mad.
Oh, it'll be salty.
I already know it now.
come to my stream and expect me not to use the character. What?
And I don't know. I just feel like, honestly, I really feel like this game will make a comeback. To be honest, like it's like a high chance because one, it's the Marvel IP. Like the Marvel IP itself is just a strong brand overall. And of course, the combat in this game is good. Like, there's nothing wrong with the combat in this game. It's really good. And I feel like that's the one thing. Like, I think that's probably one of the most the hardest thing to catch on first, especially when you do them with 6 characters. If you got the combat and it feels good with all of them, and you have just a straight idea what you want to do with the game overall when it comes to content and all that. And if it's engaging and all that, you really got something going on. So it just really depends, to be honest, because even say for example, when of course I feel like K Bishop not gonna make as much noise as people anticipate it to be when it comes to the game.
Not as much as Black Panther.
Black Panther is Black Panther gonna make some noise.
Yeah, he about to make people straight up, buy up the game and just start streaming everywhere.
Yeah, it's because honestly, I really don't I'm really not worried about the combat, to be honest, because they already proved that they can do combat in this game. How you gonna make 6 characters in the game and make them so different and so just well executed that it's fun to play on no matter what. You could just really just catch on to. So.
Yeah, exactly. And of course we know we had people from different teams jumping in, but playing as Thor, and playing as Cap, these are characters with the combat, the abilities. These 6 characters can have 6 individual games with their combat style.
Nice.
Easily. Like easily. I'm playing 6 games in one at this point. I'm playing with so many like there's games that I played that don't even have this many options to switch it up, add different attributes. If I don't want to throw the shield this way, I can throw it this way. Like there's not games that are just letting me do that. You're giving me full-fledged characters that can have full-fledged games all in one game. On top of that, DLC that's coming out to follow up after. Come on, man. It's hard to beat.
Facts. And I really don't see no gaming company really do that, to be honest, because they go if it was like another company doing the same model of the game, like they would probably end up charging for like a carrot or probably like just the DLC overall. Not like Bash and Destiny or nothing, but like something like that. Like because for Destiny we gotta pay for the DLC. It come with new expansions and new powers and all that. But just if it was like that for Avengers, it would be good. It would be getting hell right now if it was like that.
Oh, absolutely.
It would, and I would understand.
Think about the hell Destiny got.
Huh?
Destiny got hell for that off rip, especially when like some of these expansions were getting pushed back and everything. That pretty much would have killed the Avengers.
It probably would have.
It would have killed it. It would have killed the Avengers.
Yeah, people would have lost their mind. They would have absolutely been livid if that were to happen. But again, like, they're no one else is doing it like them, and that's people are they're skipping over that part. You can see they realize no one ever brings up that portion of it. They're like, yeah, this game is trash. But what about the full-fledged characters, DLC we ain't paying for? Yeah, but this game's still trash. Like, come on, man.
They just try to skip over it. Yeah, I feel it.
So it's like, come on, man. You at this point you're going out of your way to just be mad. You're really just going out of your way to be mad about this game for absolutely no reason. So I'm always excited. You know what I'm saying? Again, when I look at this game and look what it has to offer, like I'm always excited, especially when this DLC is coming out. Like you're giving me even more characters, more storylines to play with. And if each character, even if it's a small one, gets a storyline, it's almost like you playing a new game, a small little mini game. Like I'm beyond excited about it. I think they should just carry this out through, keep bringing this momentum, and then again, like we were talking about earlier, just introduce like some small little tweaks. And honestly, like I can see the game really picking back up because I know everyone's been really going off of the PC player base going down and really exploiting that. It's just irritating.
I'm gonna let you finish, but I do want to talk about that as well.
Yeah. I mean, it's just like, come on, man, y'all just picking off this one thing, bro. Like, PlayStation, Xbox still doing good. And granted, the PC base was never big to begin with Marvel Avengers. Let's not even cap that. And people was like, oh, y'all lose your fan base. No, bro, that's PC first and foremost.
Yeah.
Okay, that ain't all of us. Y'all just saw that 96% was like, oh, the game's trash. You just know your fan base. Come on, man. That's not the case.
I had multiple people, because matter of fact, I had random RBG DM'd me a couple of days ago and asked me, was that you? And it's just like those are Steam stats and Steam stats only. And then it was funny when you see just how many blogs and everything ran with that narrative without checking it. No, that is just PC and PC only. Like, we're still out here, we're still streaming, making content on. Like, this game has not lost that much of its play. If the game had lost that much of its player base, you would have definitely heard something about it. You would have definitely heard something about it beforehand.
Yeah, that's the thing. They just saw that number, saw Marvel Avengers name was on it, and started just. I'm like, come on. And I wanted to do a follow-up video, and I know June did one, and I wanted to. But then I also knew that it might turn just to a rant video, so I decided not to. I was like, I don't even want to rip off on anybody.
Because I just like see like it's so obvious like they try to you try to spin the narrative with it because like it's like you just not being 100. Like that's the thing. Like I'll be 100. The game is not the game on PC side. Hell, like everybody and their mom know is dead. Like legit, everybody knows it, bro. But of course, I think the main reason why people just don't bring up consoles overall because we can't get the console stats. But
not accurate anyway.
Like they pushed it heavily on console, and it had a lot of players on the console. So to say it's dead, when I like see the videos and like the articles and all that, they mainly are talking about the PC side. And I'm not saying that they're not losing players on Xbox and PlayStation. I'm not, but when they spend that article or just talk about it, they mainly are talking about PC, and they don't put it in the article because it's basically like YouTube. It just don't get clicks if you put it if you don't put it. So I mean, I understand.
You just gotta be vague about it. You know what I'm saying?
I know.
They kind of trying to get their click on. Like, I mean, I can't necessarily hate for that, but at the same time, they should definitely have and just let you know this is for PC specifically, not what I'm saying. Drop at least some little gem, but for the general person looking at it, like, oh, this game is done.
Yeah, if I would have saw that, and like I didn't even know about this game, like, damn, that's tough. That's not a good. That's 96. That's a lot.
Yeah,
like that. Well, that's a normal reaction. They be like, if you didn't know,
I don't know. People just bugging on that, trying to bank on the people who want to rip the game. Is like that's their solo thing. Like, oh, y'all lost. Like, come on, man. You ain't pulling all the facts. You just saw one thing, and then you're like, all right, cool.
All that is going to be out. All of that is going to be out the window though once this game gets a relaunch. Because you know what, this is what I feel like we need. I feel like we need a relaunch. We need more stuff to help the game out more. In terms of people that are still covering the game and are trying to keep it alive. Okay, look. How about? Okay, look. Let me say this. Now, this is the question for both of you. In your opinion, out of everyone that you know that has been covering the game, if you are asked, who would you guys consider as the faces, or let's say, the main content creators for this, the faces of content creators for this game? Like, who would you say deserves an actual title of content creator for Avengers, and that's actually truthful and doesn't backpedal and do dumb shit or say shit. Sayel.
I think what's the homie name? Tricks Ridiculous. What else? Phantom. I know Phoenix. I think it's Phoenix Phantom. Phantom. Who else?
Tony B.
Oh yeah, Tony. Yeah, Tony. Tony, cool dude, bro. He cool dude. He's chill. Who else? I'm trying to think. I mean, it's probably more. I just can't really think. But I can name some on top of my head I can think of. Phantom, Tricks, Tony.
There are more, but at the same time, it's pretty much just centered between people who do content on the game in general, and then people who just upload, build videos, and then go about their day. There's a difference between those two.
To be honest, I don't really know, because I ain't gonna lie. Most of it I'll be seeing, they be popping up on my recommended from some of the people.
You said what?
I said, to be honest, they mainly be popping up on my recommended, and I watch a few of them, but I don't remember their names. I'll be honest.
Because I remember it was this one dude that I found, but the reason why I stopped watching him was because his views on the game was kind of skewed. His views on the game was Mega Rock Gaming. Thank you for that sub, bro. It was kind of I get what he was saying, but it sounded like it was coming from a more hateful place than anything. So it was I just exited out and went about my day.
Yeah, cause I'm not gonna sit up here and just watch a whole a negative video. I don't know. That's just not my vibe. I can't sit up there just watch a negative video the whole time. Like, man, I could be do something better with my day.
There's always content to make, so don't watch stuff like that, man.
So I just be chilling. I don't know. Of course, I see the videos pop up about like like the negative things about the game and all that, but I'm not gonna sit up there and watch it.
No.
Ain't no point. They are like I already know what they're gonna say, so feel like it's no point.
Yeah, it's the same old. At that point, all it's gonna do is frustrate me. So at that point, I'm like, all right, bro, I'm just turn this off or I say something in the comments.
Yeah, I mean, even that, like I just be like if I would like record a video just like a rant or something, I'd be like, man, I could talk about this, but like nah. It's gonna start off some unnecessary drama, and I'm not with all that. So I'm just chill about it. Ain't no point of just starting up drama for no reason. I'm not really with that.
Yeah.
And also to everybody in chat, make sure to go ahead and follow Jaleel and June on both of their YouTube channels, and make sure to drop a sub on June's channel as well, because if he gets what is it 200? Is number 200?
I don't think no 500. I think I don't just hit 9.5 just a few like yesterday, I think.
Okay, well, he only has a little bit longer to go, because if he gets enough subs before Kate gets here, he's going to attempt a 12.
Oh no, I got that already. I got that.
Are you doing
Yeah.
Look at that. I did one of those on my other channel, and
Hey,
Jesus.
They went for Avengers.
It really like to be honest.
It's on a Tuesday too.
Like, bro, like that stuff is really hard though. Like,
dude, here's the thing. When I did mine for my other channel, the only reason I was able to get through is I have a Discord server for my other channel too. So I had, people was joining, they were popping in, I was talking to them. So that was entertaining me through. The tough part for me is when I did my 12-hour stream, I worked that same day. So I slept, I think I slept like 3 or 4 the day before. And then I woke up, 11, went to work at 1, did the 1 to 9 shift. Between 9 and 10, I'm setting up the stream, eating my Korean food real quick, get 2 bites of that joint, and then I stream from 10 to 12 the next day. So I'm like, or like 12 p.m. the next day, and I felt like, Cully, all right, bro, I'm done. And like my body was like, if someone watches it, it gets to a point where like, oh, Jaleel's lost it. He's finally cracked. He's done. Like people were coming in, and like there's just no filter. They were coming in just, hey, I'm like, all right, man, you absolutely bugging and you too much. I'm muting you. Like I was just done, and I could not take too much. But I mean, 12-hour streams are nothing to scoff at. I commend people who I've seen do 24-hour streams. You're absolutely out of your mind. That's power to you. But that's damn near possible.
I think the most that I've done is 16. I still want to do a 24 for Avengers. I'm going to do it. It's just the first time I couldn't, because back when I was initially supposed to do it, the game I was 13 hours in, and the game crashed 3 times.
Oh man!
I was like, fuck it, I'm gonna just wait. So I don't know when it is I'm gonna do it again, but I am gonna do it. But yeah, but so far my longest time frame is 16.
Yeah, like it's it's hard doing it. Like if you're doing like YouTube as well, like and streaming, it's hard to mix in between them. Like especially since K Bishop is coming out that day.
Yeah.
So it's hard. Like it's hard to do it all at once.
Like and dude, like legit, I commend you, man, because like when this game first dropped, I mean, you didn't hit the ground running. You hit the ground sprinting. My man said, "I'm streaming every day on top of delivering video content." I'm like, yo, this man has gone crazy. I was like, I still got work.
Oh yeah, like I still had work. I still had work during it as well, bro. I was still doing work.
I was like, this man is killing it. You boom streaming. All right, here I'm dropping 2 videos, and I'm gonna stream again. I'm going to work. I'm wake back up, drop 2 videos, stream again. I'm like, yo, this man's energy must be just infinite because I don't know how he's doing this.
Oh yeah,
like I streamed like for like 3 hours. I'm like, whew, long day. Go to bed. You know what I'm saying? Like I was like, yo, this man is on top of it. So I hella commend you on that. But I don't know how you did it, man. You were back-to-back stream, but you came absolutely, running, and that's paid off. With trying to upload on this channel, on my other channel, and working, and I stream a lot on my other channel mostly, is where most of my streaming time goes. It is hard to stream a lot and do video content at the same time. Like it takes a lot for me because you're like, all right, cool. I'm not gonna stream. Let me record, especially if you're recording videos in bulk, because like sometimes how my weeks are set up, sometimes I have like one day off here, one day off here, so I spend that one day recording like 3 or 4 videos and then trying to like edit them out throughout the week. So it's super time consuming. It absolutely it's killer. And especially like for me now this time of year, and I know I haven't been uploading too much on my Infamous Still Gaming channels because I'm like, cool, let me hop on it, but then I'm like, oh snap, it's time to go to work. I work my shift, I come home. At that point, I'm tired from work, and after that, I you know what I'm saying, I just really want to Gordon Ramsay's Hell Kitchen and go to bed. You know what I'm saying? I'm kind of done with the day. I'm kind of done with the day, but yeah, man, I hella commend you because bro, you just came out. I'm busting videos, bang, 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 streaming, bang, bang, bang. Yo, I was like, hell, he killing the game right now.
Oh yeah, that stuff amazing.
I need to get back to how I was before the game came out, because like I was pumping out videos like consistently, but like before drop, but it's like after drop I slowed down. I have no idea why. I'm trying to get back into it though.
Yeah, same here. And this kind of how I'm doing. Like I know my videos. I got a fat gap right now in my content because we had got Marvel Avengers, a couple little just talks about DLC, and then. Obviously, we got the PlayStation Showcase. They showed that thing off. I got hype about a couple new titles that I wanted to cover on the channel. And it seems like right now my consistency is a little bit off, at least here, because I want to keep covering Marvel Avengers and make sure I appeal to those fans, those subscribers, and everything too. But I also want to cover newer games as well. Like as much as I love covering Marvel's Avengers, like I can't stay on something for too long. Or I'm like, all right, I need something else. Especially if ain't nothing dropping. Like you like, what do I do now? I mean, you can stream, of course, but there's only so many more streams you want to do at the same thing before. Like I gotta switch it up.
Yeah, like when Gotham Knights come out, like I'm like Gotham Knights looks interesting to me. Like it looks like it looks real interesting to me. So that's the big game that that's another game that piqued my interest that I'm upload when it finally comes out. So.
Some people might hate me because of what I'm about to say, but Miles is going to be better. But to me, it's going to be better than Miles because of one major factor. The game can't be beaten within a day.
True.
The game can't be beaten within a day.
True.
On top of fighting, you actually have to go out, do detective work, go out in the city, get stuff, do that. It cannot be done in a day.
And plus, you got more than one character, man. You got that plethora, and that's if they don't add DLC in. You know what I'm saying? Like, there's tons of options. I know. Again, myself, I'm also really, 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 really excited about Gotham Knights. Don't hate me, but I'm a bigger DC fan than Marvel fan.
Yeah. Like, DC got way better content.
I'm a Nightwing's my favorite superhero of all time, and my boy, he reigns supreme. Like no one's topping him. So like I'm definitely excited about that. And then of course on the other end, which a lot of people I guess has kind of caught them off, is I'm also excited about the Hogwarts Legacy. I'm a big Harry Potter fan. So covering that game, in addition, that game looks immaculate. I've already known about the game for years. And
I was upset finding out that it's not multiplayer.
It kind of bugs me. I'm kind of okay with it. At least not initially. I don't know if they'll roll it out later, but.
Yeah, but as of right now, there's only single.
I thought it was an RPG. It looked like it was gonna be an RPG.
No, it's an RPG, but
but just single player.
Like, what? Think like The Witcher.
Oh, okay.
So I mean, I think some good things will still come out of it. And another reason I was actually really excited was it's their main studio, Avalanche Studios, is in my city. I can drive there. It's like 13 minutes away. Like it's stupid close. So I want to create those ties and really get close with that development team too and see what they have to offer, because that's another big title that I'm looking forward to. And even on my PS5, I've followed. You can like follow certain games, so there's updates. Your PlayStation will get them like notifications. So I've been trying to stay on top of that as well. But I know my consistent. I've just been really inconsistent on my uploads too. So I'm gonna try to jump back on these. Hopefully I can hit 10K soon on this channel here. I'm really close to 10K on the other channel, so I've been grinding that one out and trying to get that channel there. But man, Marvel Avengers is something I want to continue covering, especially as the DLC rolls out. I want to play as Kate Bishop. I want to play as Black Panther, and et cetera, as these characters drop and expansions happen and updates happen as well. I want to make sure I'm on top of these too, because I'm still excited about the game. And I feel like if you are, man, like, cover it, be on top of it. So I'm ready to see what else they kind of drop for us here soon.
I still don't even have a partner for Gotham Knights. I'm rocking solo dolo right now. I gotta find one.
I'm trying to see 100% if I want to like play with somebody, or I want to do like certain missions with people and then play the other portions by myself. Because like
you can do the entire thing in co-op.
Yeah, you can do the entire thing co-op. The crazy part is you can do the entire thing as just one character. That's bananas to me.
Yeah.
So like I know I'm gonna be very Nightwing heavy. So I mean, like every other character is honestly up for grabs. Like a Nightwing is, I'll play the game how many other times. Nightwing will be max. He will be the main boy. Okay, that's my man. So he's going to be number one. I'll probably rock out Red Hood after that because I'm a huge Red Hood fan. Not a fan of Jason Todd's Robin, but his Red Hood is so.
Yeah, I mean, he wasn't that. Yeah, he wasn't that. If we being honest, he wasn't that much of a good Robin.
No. And I like Tim Drake. Like, I can't believe they gave him a teleport thing too. I'm like, y'all just giving everybody teleports out here. Hold up. And even Batgirl looks dope. I don't really know as much about Batgirl as the rest of the Bat family compared to characters. The thing that most have ever used Batgirl period in a game franchise is Injustice 1. That was a main. She was a main for me. Yeah. So you know what I'm saying? That's I'm ready to explore that game. And it's funny though, because collectively, in a sense, but not 100%, it's almost like the same skeleton like Marvel Avengers, a group of characters you can play with. They'll be fleshed out most likely, just like every Marvel Avengers character will have, following a story in line. Obviously, it'll be a little bit different because it looks like it'll have a different option for how you want to lead the story, but it still has like those same skeletal parts of like, this is how the game's going to work and the options for you. So and a lot of people are they're head over heels for Gotham Knights versus Avengers. Like I hate this game.
Yeah.
So I'm excited to see how that game works, what people will say.
Surprisingly, the Arkham, like I seen like the Arkham community, like I watched a few Arkham, some people that do upload like in that community for Batman. Some people did not like don't like the way direction they taking it, or like how they don't like it. I'm like, oh, I'm surprised.
When you say direction, I assume you mean Barbara getting out of her way.
Oh no, like it's like a more of like a RPG, like a RPG type.
I have seen that. I've seen people get upset, like completely upset. They're like, "Hey, this is an RPG game and not like just another Arkham game with a different perspective." Like people are upset about that for sure. Which I'm like, come on, man, like
gotta bring something new,
Yeah, man, it's like eating the same cracker every day. You gotta, so you gotta have something a little different. Put a little cheese on it or something. Right. Like you gotta have something different. So as much as we love these certain games, and I love Arkham, like Arkham Knight is easily still one of the most beautiful PS4 games I've ever seen, and it's still a great game to this day. But you want something different. You need something different. I think that's a great way is bringing in a game that has RPG elements. The replay value is a lot different because then if you want to, you can play this game 4 times over and you can play as one specific character for the entire time.
Yep.
Or if I want to, my brother picks up a PS5 too. I can play the entire game as a straight brother co-op. Me rocking Nightwing, him rocking Robin. You know what I'm saying? We have there's options. There's tons of options when it comes down to it. So There's so many things kind of change, especially for superhero games. I think superhero games are stepping into a brand new light with games like Miles Morales, Gotham Knights coming out, Marvel Avengers. Like they're definitely stepping it up. So I think if you're still unsure about Marvel Avengers, man, hang in there. They're coming with the fire. They're dropping that content. They're dropping everything. I know, again, everything that's been happening in the world kind of slowed that down. And I feel like some people still forget that this is really happening. Like, this does affect every category of media. Like, it just doesn't affect like your TV shows. It affects your games. It affects everything. So,
hey, Infamous, you think you got one of your homies here in my chat, Nightwing.
Mega Rock. Yeah, you can be Robin. You the sidekick, son. Hold up. You the sidekick. Learn your spot. Nightwing is definitely my character. I cannot wait to play as him. I'm just waiting for them to drop any inkling of news.
I know. Anything. They have been silent. I mean, they've been posting like little stuff, but it's been silent.
It ain't been much. They've been tight-lipped. I need some like gameplay clip. I need something. Yeah. I don't even care what it is at this point, because they've already got me interested. Even with that 12 minutes of gameplay they showed, like
the gameplay for alpha footage, that looked.
Now imagine when it's fully fleshed out.
If I don't have a PS5 when it's here, I'm gonna lose my shit.
No, man. I mean, that's the thing, is when you see this game, I can only imagine, like, when it fully comes out, PS5, Xbox Series X got the ray tracing going on, and and maybe even an option for the the performance with the 60 FPS. Like, oh my god, this game's about to look top tier. Because just with the weather effects by that one mission, I'm already like, I'm riding the bat bike. I'm going in the city in the snow. I can pop off the bike when I want. Like, yeah, this is an instant cop. Besides it already being in the Batman franchise, and I can play as a character that's not Batman for once.
Oh yeah,
this is a cop. This is already a cop. Whatever special edition, I'm confident.
Yeah, for sure.
Now, granted, I had to unfortunately cancel my special edition for Marvel's Avengers, because they're like, yo, you ain't getting this until the next morning, and I'm like, because I'm a content creator. Like, you expect me to not play this at 12 o'clock? You out of your mind? Like, I can't not just do that. So, obviously, I had to cancel my pre-order, but it was worth it. But I want to get this, and even if I don't end up covering it, like, I still want to get the Ultimate Edition. I feel like they would have a pretty fire Ultimate Edition for this game, too. So.
Oh, yeah, especially because this is all the Bat family. Oh, yeah, I feel like it's going to be something.
Like a nice
little statue Batman, or something.
Exactly.
I say like 50%, because you still got other people, for example, that aren't there, like Bluebird, Spoiler, Signal, Orphan.
Yeah.
The other Batgirl, Stephanie.
Oh, only person I really want, and I know this is kind of an obscure one because not many people know about him. I want the Signal. That's my boy. His fit.
Dude.
Dude is hey, my man, dude Thomas, and it's so crazy because his suit is it's dumb bright yellow, but I love it. It's a great contrast to the city and how Gotham is, and a very big contrast from Batman himself. So I need Batman. I need Batwing in this game. Give us some of that, African American representation.
Sure.
You know what I'm saying? So I feel like we get those, and it'll be like really awesome.
It will be, yeah.
Oh, Tom. We gotta talk about this PS5. How hard it is to snag, bro. Like I could just see it now. When Walmart drop it tomorrow, it's gonna crash. It's a percentage that it will crash. And that's
I'm hoping y'all get Charles, man. Like experiencing it, yes, very fun console. Again, it's great, but yeah, I know it's crazy hard for anyone to grab one. My brother wants one, but obviously it's gonna be tough to get one. Plus, he's not really got like a whole bunch of things he's looking to move out here where I'm at. Yeah. But I'm like, it is hard to get a console. Like, even if I didn't have mine now, I know that I'd be struggling to find one, because as soon as they go up, you got people with the bots and buying like 12 of them damn things and then reselling them all. It's like, come on, man. Like, now you're just being stingy, bro. Now you're just being stingy. You already made your money with the last 12 you sold. You ain't got to do all that.
Wait, hold on, wait. Speaking of which, something I want to bring up to y'all. So I don't know if y'all seen this post or not, right? But so there's this. So you know how there's scalpers everywhere. There's this one scalper group in particular. They have more PS5s than any major retailers. They managed to get their hands on 3,500 consoles.
Imagine.
The fuck.
Imagine.
Major scalper. 3,500 consoles. More than Walmart. Major retailers, Target, Best Buy, more than all of them.
Oh my!
That's a perfect example why it's so hard to get one. They be using them bots. I ain't gonna lie. I might have to find me a little bot too. I ain't gonna lie. Shoot.
I mean, at this point, it seems like bots gonna be fighting to secure a PlayStation at this point. I know the even when because me and Mega Rock got out at the same time, so it was more of just refreshing and free. Like after the event, I sat at my computer hours straight. I told my girlfriend, "Hey, get in here, get your phone, get the iPad, refresh." You know what I'm saying? Like I'm like on it. Like you gotta say, you got something I can look up bestbuy.com. You refreshing it. I don't care what it is. Like, even if I have to buy his guest and go get it fixed at work later on, I don't care. I just want to get my console. So it takes a minute. I know it's been super rough because I've been seeing people, with the bots, they'll show the picture on Twitter and like, I got 6 of these joints and go to the page and they reselling it for like $1,000, $1,500. I'm like, bro, now you just going bonkers, bro. That's just ridiculous.
I know. But it's probably I could say probably about like the mid of next year, probably that not everyone should have one, but I feel like a majority of people should have some.
We'll have one. Like general, like stock will be generally a lot easier for everyone just to go in and maybe grab one up.
I hope so.
Because, I mean, it's nothing crazy. I mean, I mean, at this point, like, there's not a whole bunch of games this year. Like that's at least the I guess the better side of it. There's not a whole bunch of games dropping this specific year unless you were picking up like Cyberpunk, maybe. But like for me, I'm gonna grab it for PC most likely unless PlayStation's got something exclusive for it. But I doubt that it will. So
I think they will for Xbox. Xbox has been they got the edition for Xbox.
Well, if I got Xbox, it means I got PC. All the same to me. I don't know. I just for me, it's. I'm glad I got it. And at this point, at this particular point in time, you're almost using it as a sub PS4, honestly. Because I mean, I have Miles Morales and I got the remastered Spider-Man. I got Valhalla and I got Godfall. Those are my PS5 games. It's just those 4. And I got like the Mortal Kombat with the PS5 upgrade. But at the same time, like I got these and I just bought an external hard drive because this console ain't got no space. And I got some PS4 games downloaded that I play pretty constantly. So I'm like, right now, this is a sub PS4 because I beat Miles Morales. I've technically beat Spider-Man already. I don't really need to replay it. I'm just replaying it in 60 FPS because, why the hell not? Yeah. It comes down to really, I'm just like, okay, cool. How much faster can this game load faster than on the PS4? Awesome. Play a couple minutes of it. All right, it's time to switch the game.
Speaking of that, I wonder where all of those people went that said Miles Morales was about to completely kill off Avengers and be a much longer lasting game.
Oh man, I already knew from the start. That was gonna be capped, man.
I want to know where they at.
It's just the single player curse. As soon as you beat everything, you beat the story 100%. You can replay it, do the new game plus, and just redo the story again. Then after that, there's really nothing else to do. So unless it's getting DLC, then that's understandable. But then even after that, it's still do the same.
I mean, thing. Looking at Spider-Man PS4, after you do all 3 of the DLCs, you ain't touching it.
Yeah. Like, it's a good experience, but,
Not even just that, because you have games like the Arkham series, single player, but they still fun. You can go through replaying.
Oh, yeah.
There was one exception, though, and that's Arkham Origins. Do you know why?
Then isn't Origins have multiplayer?
That one had multiplayer.
The multiplayer. Yep. Arkham Origins multiplayer was criminally underrated. It was extremely fun because it was essentially a three-way match, right? You had the Joker gang versus the Bane gang versus Batman and Robin. Now the combat pretty much it works the same as normal walking controls, like the same way you do in story. It's just that now the goons that you're going around tying up off of gargoyles or knocking out or whatever, they're actual people. So you have to be a little bit more careful about how you move around, essentially. And the reason, and that also ties into Gotham Knights, because WB was the one who made Origins, and because Origins isn't considered as a part of the trilogy because it wasn't made by Rockstar. So there are games like that, like you said, the games with DLC or maybe games that add multiplayer later on, like Ghost of Tsushima, that can necessarily break out of that cycle. Although Ghost of Tsushima doesn't really have that. I mean, it's fun, but it doesn't have that much.
Yeah. That's the thing. All these single player games are not gonna. They're not in actuality. They're not gonna outlast games like Marvel Avengers. You know what I'm saying? Again, like Spider-Man, you play it. If you platinum it, good for you. You know what I'm saying? But after you beat the main story, you really ain't got much else to do. You may do what maybe I do. Maybe it's just a me thing. But I'll pop in from time to time. I'll swing for a couple minutes and then I'll get off. You know what I'm saying? Just a nice little swing around the city, jump off a couple buildings, beat up a couple guys. I'm like, all right, well, I'm done with this game.
Yeah,
And you put in something else.
and that's just the thing, Like I don't really like go into the hype about it when people say, it's like when Miles is gonna kill the game and all that. I'm like, man, I already know what's gonna happen, bro. I mean, I said it in videos once. I already know it's gonna happen. Like it's gonna be popular for like a couple weeks, then. That's it. To be honest, unless they come out with DLC, that's really it. So, and then Avengers is just gonna have more content coming out with new updates, quality of life features, and all that. So it's still gonna get talked about. I mean, like it's not going against Miles and anything because of course it's Spider-Man and Miles did well. So it's gonna be talked about. Like even Spider-Man and PS4 still talked about to this day. So, it's just how it is, to be honest. It's what it is. Let me see,
We are doing everything we can to make sure that this game stays afloat and that this game stays in the minds of everyone. And then you also have other people like Miller, who's you know what? I'm doing like this. I think we all know it. He knows it too. Miller is a big reason why a lot of people kept faith in this